to us. Um,
Okay.
Courtney was telling me that you did an angel reading for him. So you basically charge $1 a minute, like most psychic readers, I take it,
Um,
with a
no,
minimum of 20 minutes.
no, 20 minutes is $40
Oh, it is? Okay.
and an hour is 120.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he told me it was like 20 for some reason that stuck in my mind.
That's
So,
what he suggested that I do. I haven't taken his suggestion to heart yet.
oh, okay. Because I know that here locally, when they do psychic fairs, they typically do $1 a minute. So obviously that's
Oh,
with a 15-minute minimum and a 30-minute. But he told me about doing the recordings and things like that. And I do
yep,
think that that would add a lot of value because people do want, they don't remember, what it was
right.
that was said. And so you could actually have quite a nice little system,
Yes,
going.
I was amazed that I never even thought about that. And it was like, oh, that is really great information.
So, like I said, Courtney, I guess when I talked to him, it was 7:20, and basically, his computer had just crashed, and I
Um,
said to him, I said, "Well, didn't you? It was a presentation for tonight." And I said, "Well, didn't you like save it?" People. And he said, "Well, that's the part that is so weird is that it's like gone, and he had saved it. So I have a feeling that he saved it, but it's just hidden, somewhere."
right. Oh
But
no.
um, but did you find anyone to take your photos?
I have a couple people. I'm going to call them tomorrow. One girl I actually met. I did a reading for her Christmas time, and I did it for her for free. So maybe she will respond in the same way.
Oh, that would work out great.
Yeah.
Because I really think that if you can get some nice professional quality photos, and then of course, I saw that you did a vision board workshop. What's
Yep.
the response on those?
It hasn't been too big because I haven't really advertised it enough.
Mm-hmm. Because you
Um,
could do a vision board course really easily in an online. I would
okay.
think, you know,
Probably.
because
Um,
you're talking about um, you're talking about how to use the vision boards, and I think you've got the mind movies too. Um,
right,
those are
right.
really cool. Um, but even the vision boards, and I mean, I could see that you could do a combination
Yeah.
of your vision board workshops, your angel card readings online. I mean, there's really nothing stopping you from doing all of this stuff online as long as you feel confident that you can connect with people energetically.
Oh, I
Um,
do.
yeah, so um, that's what I kind of see you doing because you could, um, you can control everything. Hey,
Right.
Wesley's here. Wesley Hazlitt. He's a Canadian friend.
Okay.
Do you know somebody named LaShonda?
Yes.
Okay, she had signed up, but I don't see her here. Who is
Hmm.
LaShonda?
LaShonda is the woman that I connected with last week, and we're going to do some sort of a summit online.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
that's something that the go-to webinar would maybe be a help with.
yeah, well, again, there's go-to webinar, and it typically it's gets kind of expensive. But there are free ones. There's one called Zoom, ZOOM, and then
Right.
there's Skype, and of course Skype you
Okay.
can do video or audio or both.
Okay.
Um, and there are some other. Of course, Google Hangouts is free. Google Live or YouTube Live is free. So
Wow.
you've got a lot of opportunities that don't where you could start, and then when you start making money, you can go to a paid platform.
Right.
I think that would be really helpful. I'm going to see if Wes. Hey, Wes, can you hear me? I think he does.
Sounds like it.
I think I shock people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
because
hear you.
Hey,
I
um, Courtney has had a major computer crash, but I didn't want you guys to show up and have nobody be here, so I'm here. He's trying to get his computer back up. Um, so Wesley, tell me, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been offline for a couple of months, Tami. I've been working with the census up here, so I'm just getting back into it this week.
Oh, cool. So the last time I talked to you was last year, and you were really hustling with, I think, videos. Are you still focusing on videos?
That's going to be most of what I do to start with. I have to ramp back up because I've been working basically 18 hours a day and whatnot, doing the managing a team up here, so I haven't had any time for my business.
Oh, well, the census is something that's really important, and it's also money coming in, you know.
Yeah, I just had no idea it would be so time intensive. I'm a team leader, so it's 7 days a week, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
been
so anyway,
quite
so
tiring.
Wesley, Catherine is, she's a heart centered healer, and she does angel card readings and other spiritual type things. And then she also speaks about mental health issues. And again, Wesley, I what I recall about you is that you are working in local marketing, focusing on video and reputation, stuff like that. Am I accurate?
Yeah, that's very good, Tami. That's exactly it.
Okay.
Good. So even though you guys are very different, you both, obviously it's business, and they both lend themselves to being an on what I would consider an online business, um, because I really do think that that really is something that both of you certainly can look at. And for Catherine, I think it's probably a little more eye opening for her about the power of what you can do online with
Yep.
the webinars, the teleseminars, the Facebook groups, the book collaborations, which you're very familiar with.
Yep.
So there's just a lot. I'm going to go and just check on Courtney real quick. So go ahead and, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask since I'm here, and I'll see if he thinks that he's going to be able to, show up, because like I said, about 7:20, he contacted me and said his computer crashed and everything seemed to be gone. That he had.
Yeah, a ceiling fan probably fell on it.
Did he have that problem?
Well, he had a problem with his ceiling fan. Maybe it just fell down and crashed his computer.
Oh, that's so
Right.
funny, because the other day, I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was some lady, and she had to sleep in another room because her ceiling fan above her bed was like hanging by a wire.
Oh
And
no.
I guess what happened is whoever installed the ceiling fan, they didn't do whatever the bolting is that you have to do.
Right.
Oh, speaking of that, Wesley, you were asking about the electricians and about LED conversions. And
Yeah, those were. I wasn't able to get on that webinar for some reason, where you were showing about optimizing videos.
right. Well, the replay is up in the membership site, And if you were signed up, you should have gotten like something either from GoToWebinar, and it often comes from Henry Sereno, which would have the replay. But I also sent out a link to a membership site to get all the free bonuses, and that should have went to you if you were signed up for that webinar. Courtney's calling me, so let me see.
Okay.
No, we're right here. We're logged in talking. I'm talking with Catherine and Wesley right now. Huh. I wonder if you got one of, because I noticed that sometimes I get double links. Just a second here. Invite. I'm going to send you this. So. Oh well, I'm here with, I'm talking with Catherine and Wesley, and LaShonda didn't come. I just sent that to you, the join webinar ID, and I don't know. So we're here. We're just having a nice conversation. So if you want to come on in, I'll make you the presenter.
I'm looking to see if I got an email from LaShonda. No.
So it just says, enter the web ID 102-036-595. So go ahead and register, and it should pop you right in.
World salutes. Hey, who could have booked a nice hotel off the interstate? But for half the price.
So anyway, so Wesley and Catherine are here, and we've just been chatting about what we're doing.
Eyeglass World. See yourself smile. See yourself save. Okay, getting a great deal here.
And as soon as you pop up,
I can't. But it's a great deal. I literally can't even.
There's something.
No. I love it. So just sign right there. Yeah. It's a big deal.
There you go. Some things, it says waiting for name. Courtney. It says Courtney is not connected to audio. Make Courtney presenter, which I just did. So I now see your Create Authority Self-Help Best Path to Cash.
Why do we have a double echo here? I wonder, you know what, hold on a minute. I bet I've got the presenter.
Here, I'm going to turn off the Skype and see if that helps. Yep. Does that help?
Yep. Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, now you're the presenter. And yep, I see the screen.
All right. And who's noise? Who's watching videos in the background?
Oh, you mean TV on in the background?
Is that what it is?
Must be. Let me go turn it off because I wasn't sure if you're actually coming. I'll be right back.
I was here. I
Okay,
told you
just a
5
second.
minutes.
Okay, just a second.
Charlie Vincent is self-absorbed, annoying, insensitive, egotistical. Whoa, you must not be reading that.
Let me switch over to one thing here.
Okay.
Give me one momento.
Okay.
There. Okay. And I even have a quote from Eleni in this one.
Good. Okay, you want me to go ahead and I'll introduce it?
All right.
Welcome, everyone, to Fast Path to Cash, Create Authority, Sell Help with Courtney Kostelecki and Tami Patzer. Welcome. Take it away, Courtney.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's really great to be here today. And we have a lot of stuff to cover, so we're going to go fast. So get out your notepad, take some notes. Here's the first thing. Let me ask you a quick question. What would just one new client mean to you? What about 3, 4, or maybe even 10 new clients? Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight, how to do that. But before we really get into the main presentation, here are some vital things that you really need to know. So first of all, you're probably wondering who Courtney Kostelecki and Tami Patzer are and why you should listen to us. Well, I will let Tami take it away and talk about me, and then I will talk about her.
Oh, great. Well, Courtney was born and raised in North Dakota. And one of the things that's really fascinating about Courtney is that he was a professional magician and speaker, and he worked with some of the top magician salespeople, including Dave D, who is now very, very famous because he works with the top. Who is it that Dave D works with now, Courtney?
Dan Kennedy.
Dan Kennedy.
GKIC.
With GKIC. And if you've been around a while, you know that Dan Kennedy is probably one of the foremost marketing gurus, if we can even say that word today. So Courtney has a really deep background and foundation in solid marketing and copywriting. And copywriting is one of the things that most people, they don't realize that what you say is actually how you're going to make more sales in the long run. So it's really, really important. He's a best-selling author. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about Courtney is that he's actually written a best-selling book in the chiropractic niche. So if you are someone interested in anything related to medical niches or niches, you'll actually want to talk to him. He is a certified funnel expert. And if you know anything about funnels, what does that mean? That means when you take someone from the beginning with an introductory product, such as a free report, all the way through to buying what would be your signature or your core product or products. And this is something really cool about Courtney. He lives in Puerto Rico. And think about it, North Dakota, frigid weather, snow piles, and he was smart enough to know that living in a tropical paradise was probably a lot better than sloshing through snow for 9 months out of the year, because I've heard North Dakota is a pretty frigid place. I know Minnesota is, so I know that. He also worked for Yahoo in the pay-per-click division, and this is not a political endorsement, but he actually sold pay-per-click packages to Trump Towers. And I've known Courtney maybe for about 4 or 5 years now. Although we've never actually met in person, we have done quite a bit of work together, and one of the things that people really don't know about Courtney is he's actually trained thousands of local marketers about directories via his products, Directory Domination and Directory Domination 2.0, as well as other trainings. So when Courtney tells you about things to do, you are getting advice from, number one, someone who is doing this daily. He's in the trenches still, and he is applying everything he teaches in a real world scenario. So you're getting what I would call the best of the best, because he's not just giving you theory, he's telling you what is actually working today.
Yeah, thank you. And let me talk a little bit about my friend Tami. She is a former Suncoast Media Group editor, and what's really cool about Tami that you probably didn't know is she was actually a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize, which, if you know anything about editing or newspapers or journalism, it's like the gold medal. I don't know if there's anything. Is there anything bigger than the Pulitzer Prize, Tami? I don't think there is.
I don't think so. It was a pretty big deal. It was for the coverage of Hurricane Charlie, which of course nearly wiped us out here in Southwest Florida.
Yep. She's also a television show creator and producer, and she is the creator of Tami, Total Audience Market Immersion. And she's also the creator of Blue Ocean Authority. And Blue Ocean Authority is her company, which she helps people gain credibility and authority in what she calls the blue ocean of all these different digital waterfront properties. She's also a best-selling author for the Ask Tami Pinterest for Business. She is a mass media instructor at the University of South Florida. And what's really cool about that is, we'll talk about that a little, she is actually a communications instructor at the State College of Florida, and she actually created a Facebook course, which is a college-level credited Facebook course. When people go to the college and they take classes on social media, they are taking the course that Tami created. So this is up-to-date stuff. This is great stuff. And so when it comes to social media and things like that, Tami really knows what she's doing, is also as far as creating authority too. She has a bunch of other stuff going on. She's been a television commentator on ABC, NBC, other national media. She's also the publisher of Clicks Show and Magazine, and that is a medium where she interviews authors and turns them into bestsellers, and she also has a podcast with that too. And she is also the publisher of the Retirer's Guide and Show. So there is a lot of stuff that Tami has done. So first of all, let's talk about the fast path to cash. And really, CASH is an acronym for Create Authority and Sell Help, because everything begins with authority. You have authority. You might not know that you have authority, but you do. And that's one of the things that one of the first things that we talk about is owning your authority. Everything that you do has authority. You just need to figure out what that is. And then what we need to do then is we help you with, you need to create that authority and spread that authority out through a bunch of different media channels, and then you sell the help. So people come to you because of your authority, and then you offer them your help and your solutions. Now, before we go into this, there's something we need to talk about, and it's called a PMS. And it's not what you're probably thinking of. PMS in this case stands for positioning, messaging, and systems. So positioning is probably the most important variable to attracting new clients, and it's going to have the biggest impact to your income. And the next thing is messaging. Messaging is equally important. You see, messaging, it can stand on its own, but when you combine that with proper positioning, wow, you have something amazing going on. So the other thing too with messaging is proper messaging is really, really critical to your success in everything you do. And this is where I spend a lot of time studying copywriting. Some of the A-list copywriters, they command 5 and 6 figures to write an ad, plus they usually get a piece of the back-end sales. And one of the things I want to talk about is messaging. And this is something that if you've got to have a pen and paper handy, I'm going to write this, and I'm going to read this out to you, but either take a screenshot of this or whatever, because this is really important. So anytime that you are dealing with messaging, one of the things that you need to do is you need to get into the mind of your prospect, and you need to answer some of their objections beforehand. You almost need to be psychic in a way. You almost need to be a mind reader. And so one of the things that you can do to alleviate that fear and address that fear is through messaging. And this is one of the things, this is the phrase that I use all the time, and it works like gangbusters. And so you're talking with somebody, and this might be in a free report, it could be in a sales letter. I even use this exact phrase when I'm talking to people on the phone. And it talks about basing your decision primarily on price. I say, wow, that's a biggie. You know, of course, you want to get the lowest price, and it is a factor when you're budgeting for a marketing campaign, you know, insert whatever it is that you're selling. However, many people, you know, place way too much emphasis on the price, and they lose focus on the real reason that they're hiring the expert for their knowledge, insight, and the overall outcome they desire. So here's the bottom line. Decide what you want. Decide what your desired outcome wants to be. If you find a person who can help you achieve that, hire them. That's it. So now when you get proper positioning plus messaging, you really have a 1-2 punch, and you can really KO the competition. And then if you add in some third-party credibility, and this is a testimonial from another product that I have called the Free Report Formula. The Free Report Formula training was excellent. Courtney's training is comprehensive and well thought out. It's presented in a step-by-step method that is easy to follow and understand. Invest in this course. That comes from Elaine Davis of Value Marketing LLC. So that testimonial, if you have some really great testimonials and you sprinkle them in with your messaging, you are going to have a really, really successful business. So one of the things that I talk about too is actually having to get some really great testimonials, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So here we have the fast path to creating cash, and it really is a 3-part system. So we talked about the first part. So you've got your positioning, you've got the messaging, and the third part is systems. You've got to have systems in your business. And one of the systems that you really need is a system which is a strategic marketing system. And here is what this system needs to do. It needs to qualify your ideal prospects automatically, which also means it disqualifies the people that aren't qualified for your product or service. Gets permission from the ideal prospect to communicate with them regularly via email, phone, or in person. And the other thing too, it needs to offer them an entry level or a taste of a trial product or service, and 100% risk reversal value in advance. It also needs to focus on delivering high value to the prospect before and after the purchase and provide opportunities for your client to get more from you later. And so there's also another PMS to this. And the other PMS is people, mentor, and support. And this, I would say, is probably almost more important than the first three PMSs, the positioning, the messaging, and the systems. Because you really need guidance, and you need ongoing guidance, you need help, and you need support from other people that are doing the same thing you're trying to accomplish. So here's what it comes down to. Every year we have a great idea and we have grandiose plans for world domination or some other goal, and I just want to ask you a question right now. How's that working out for you? Maybe it's working out great, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I do know this. I know that you're the type of person that wants to invest in themselves. They want to grow as a person, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And that is why you're on this call tonight. So what you need to do is you really need to figure out if that's working for you. And if it's not, you might want to consider growing with Courtney and Tami. And so this is an 8-week course. And the first week is mindset and clarity. And this is really, really important. This is, you can't imagine how important this is, because if you're not in the right mindset, everything is going to fail. And I'm going to let Tami talk about this because she has some really great insight on some things that have happened in the week one.
Thanks, Courtney. Well, yes, mindset and clarity is really, really important. And with everyone we've taught, especially in our last beta group, people had some really major breakthroughs with their mindset and the clarity. And let me first start with what the clarity call is. You actually talk with Courtney for about a half an hour, and Courtney will go over very specific questions with you and then help you actually come up with a path to success so that you can create your fastest path to cash. And then also, we start with really simple questions, and you would never realize how important this one question that we ask is. And the question is, who would ever listen to me? When you ask yourself this question, and then you actually go about finding all of the reasons why people should listen to you, you will have some phenomenal major breakthroughs. For example, when we had a person ask that question, her name was Catherine, and she actually asked herself that question. And when she started to look at who she really was and about her background, she came up with, wow, I do have a lot of really powerful, positive information to share. Even me personally, when I asked myself that question, it actually revealed something that I didn't know about myself or hadn't claimed. And that was that I had taught thousands of local marketers about video marketing and mobile websites and websites through some products I'd created last year. So there have been some really huge breakthroughs. We have another person, Yvonne Herbst, who, when she looked at who she was, she actually came on and shared one of her success stories related to Facebook marketing for a local yoga studio. And she also shared with us about how she had helped a concierge doctor just with some simple marketing plans based on, you guessed it, mindset and messaging. So week one is the foundation of the rest of the 8 weeks, and you'll find that it's a very powerful week. And we also have some very specific instructions with goals and prosperity workbook that you can use so that you can actually write everything down and really get a handle on it.
Yeah, and week one, really, there's a lot of great stuff throughout all the weeks, but I think the feedback that we've gotten from week one was, wow, this is what I really needed. So then we go into week two, and week two is really critical as well. Week two positions you as the expert, and you are an expert. You just might not realize it, or maybe you do realize it. I don't know. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to position you as the expert, not only as the expert, but as the only logical person to do business with. And we actually do that with some messaging too. So we also help you work on creating your brand strategy. We talk about some copywriting, and we also talk about defining your ideal client. Now, it's not defining a client. It is defining your ideal client. So we are helping you pick and choose, and through the branding and the messaging that we're going to help you with, you are going to attract your ideal client. So if you only want to work with a particular niche that has X amount of dollars to spend, that is who you will attract through our system that we teach you. The next part is messaging, and you really need to make your messaging magnetic, and it needs to be congruent. And I think when we taught this lesson, we had a lot of people that had a lot of breakthroughs as far as, wow, this is something that I've known, but I've never heard it taught this way before, and this makes much more sense. So the other thing too is we have week 4, which is more messaging. Messaging is vitally important. We also are working on attracting your ideal client with the ideal message. And we also help you work with your USP, which stands for unique selling proposition. You might also have it referred to as an elevator pitch. And we've had some really, really great breakthroughs with some people working on their elevator pitches. And one of the things that we also do is we work with you on creating that perfect elevator pitch. And Tami has a product called The Perfect Pitch. And we actually have people come on our accountability calls and post their elevator pitches in the Facebook group, and collectively we all work on them together. So you are getting the best of the best. So the other thing which is also important is, what do you do when someone says no? And there is a lot of strategy behind this. It's like, do you say, oh, nope, I don't want this? Okay, move on. So we talk about that too. And then week 5, we actually talk about tightening up and tweaking your message, and we talk about delivering your message to your ideal client. And we talked about some email sequences and a very specific email sequence called Gain, Fear, and Logic that can be applied to any product or service that, if it's done properly, works like gangbusters. And once again, that is all part of creating that funnel. So week number 6 this is a fun week. This is creating your messaging, but it's also getting your messaging for referrals. We're going to talk about how to ask for referrals. And I'm going to share a story and some strategies with you that you can use no matter what niche you're in, no matter what business you're in. So for example, I have a marketing company, but I got a competing local marketing company to promote me, my company, and my services. How would you like your competition, your competitors, promoting you and your product or service? That's really cool. And there is a lot more with that. Now, week number 7 is also a very, very vital and critical part, because we have all these things in place, but you need a system. And week 7, it's all about systems. We're going to talk about systems for social media, and how to, save, hours of time when you're doing social media marketing. I've got a tool that I'm going to be giving everybody, as we say in Spanish, gratis. How to get paid, editorial calendars. All these things really come together, and there's also, I didn't put it in here, but I'm also going to be talking about some free systems. I have created a couple of products based around free systems that business owners can use to run their business. There's free systems for invoicing. There's free email systems. There's free systems to keep track of your customer pipeline. There are a lot of free things out there, and I'm going to go over a lot of those things as well. And then week 8, this is really kind of, we're kind of winding down, but at the same time, we're really ramping up, because now what we're going to be talking about is how do you take these pieces and how do you use them and move forward with what you learned. The other thing, too, is how do you avoid burnout? I mean, it is very easy to get burned out as an entrepreneur and a business owner. You are up, early to bed, early up in the morning, late at night. I myself have been up working on some projects and trying to launch some things where I'm up at 6 in the morning. I have my quiet time and my coffee at the beach for an hour, and then I come back in, shower the sand off, and I am in the office and I'm working by 7:30, and I take a little bit of time out for lunch and supper, and I'm working till midnight. And if you do that for too long, you can get burned out. And so we're going to talk about some specific things that you can do to avoid that burnout. And that all has to do with having some systems. And of course, what would a course with Tami and myself be without a bunch of unannounced goodies? If people have taken some of my training, I started off with a 4-week course, which turned into a 10-week course. I know Tami severely crazily over-delivers too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So now I'm sure that you are wondering what your investment is going to be in this detailed, no-holds-barred, take-no-prisoners training, what it is. But first of all, let me tell you if this is right for you. This is right for you if you are stuck. If you just have been doing this for a number of years and you're making progress, but when you started this a couple of years ago, you thought, geez, I really should be farther ahead. I really should be making more money. I should really have more free time to do some of these things. If you're stuck, this is for you. If you need support, if you want to dramatically accelerate your business growth. And the other thing, this is for people who believe in abundance and that it's real, and there is opportunity for each and every one of us. Now, who this isn't for? Moaners, groaners, complainers, and excuse makers. We don't need any of those. If we have any moaner, groaners, complainers, and excuse makers, we don't have time for it. And we just refund your money and boot you out of the group. But so far we've had a really great group, but we just want to be around positive people, and you should too. So the next thing, this isn't for if you don't want to take action. Now there are a ton of things out there. There's a ton of trainings out there, and you probably have a bunch that you've taken and they're just sitting around. This course is specifically designed for you to get results, but you need to take action. The next thing, negative people, let's kind of talked about that in the first part. The other thing is people who refuse to listen and follow directions. Now, we are, doing this and we do this from a place of serving. I have been in the marketing space since the mid-90s. Tami has been, helping people in the journalism space, creating authority, since, probably the 90s too. I don't exactly know when, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A long time,
Long time.
a long time, and we've been doing this full time, since, for the past, 6-7 years, and so. I hate to say this, Tami, but we have decades of experience. Makes it sound old, doesn't it?
It does, but that is the truth. We do have decades of experience.
Yeah, I know. It's, and not only that is the learning experience, but chances are, if there's a mistake to be made, we made it. And we can help you avoid that minefield and pitfalls. So you really need to listen to us and follow directions. We don't. And the other thing is lazy people. But the most important of them all is if you are going to criticize my lack of PowerPoint skills, and yes, that is skills with a Z, it's probably not for you. Okay. Maybe not. All right. Okay. So,
but if you want to have a lot of fun and learn at the same time and really hang out with people who really care about whether or not you succeed, I think we are the right people. And because
we have a ton of fun.
We don't just dump you off and say, figure this out yourself. For example, right now we're doing a lot with our power pitches. And of course, the expectation is that people come to us with who they are, and then we say, okay, that's a start, and we try to be very gentle, but then we will edit it and carve it until you have a very strong power pitch that will roll off of your tongue and really say who you are and what you stand for very quickly. So that's just one example. And I think that's really important if you're considering hanging with us for 8 weeks or longer, because both Courtney and I, we do over deliver. I was laughing to myself earlier when Courtney was talking about the referrals. I actually have a 7-week course just on referrals for the college that obviously I can provide because I've already made the course. But we really do over deliver. And with the membership site that we have, one of the cool features is that if you have a question that is something that can benefit the entire group, we're able to answer the question with a video and actually answer that and upload it into the membership site in the Q&A with a video or audio answer. So that way you can get these questions answered rapidly and other people will also benefit. And of course, that will actually create a Q&A library within the membership site. And another thing that's really cool about the membership site that I just discovered is that when I upload video training, you can slow it down, speed it up, or listen to it in normal range. You can download it if you choose, but it's all recorded in HD. So you just click the HD button and it just comes out beautiful, crystal clear, no matter how large your screen is. I just discovered that the HD it just makes the quality of the presentations really nice. And then, of course, you get a lot of written material and workbooks and course books, depending on what it is we're working on. And then you get a Facebook group where, of course, we can interact with you and help you very rapidly because of the power of Facebook. So those are just a couple little things. So I'll let you continue, Courtney.
All right. So, like I said, you're probably chomping at the bit, and you already know, and you believe that you can do this, and we are the right people to help you to achieve that. So you're probably wondering what the investment is. And the investment is a one-time payment of, oh, but before I get to the investments, let me pile on the bonuses. Okay, so it's a 50% discount, and so you are saving $500 on that. So your one-time investment is $497. It's a $997 course. The bonus number one is saving $500. Bonus number two is a live personal 30-minute Skype clarity call from me, and that is valued at $250. And that is a real value because I do personal coaching and consulting with other marketers, and I typically charge $500 an hour for that. And regarding the clarity call, this is what one of our members said. John said this. Just wrapped up my clarity call with Courtney. Damn, it was an eye-opener. He really helped me see the potential I have within myself. Thanks, Courtney. Thank you, John.
That is really powerful because that is a really prime example of when we can see in you things that you may not even see in yourself, and we can like say, hey, guess what? And John is a prime example of someone who has a phenomenal background, and I guess he's just wasn't aware of how awesome he is.
Yeah.
And everybody really is, when you actually stop and talk to people and ask them about their backgrounds and who they are, every single person just amazes me at the quality of these people who are stepping up to work with us. It's just phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
They're just such high quality people.
It's a lot of fun too. So the next bonus is we're going to give you a 90-day blueprint on how to build your business in 90 days. This is a step-by-step blueprint. Do this, do this, do this, rinse and repeat. And that is a $300 course. Bonus number 4, this is something that I don't give away very often. And this is called my 10K or $10,000 testimonial system. And I'm putting a value on this at $500, but it's really worth much more. So that testimonial that we got from Mulaney, that was crafted and created because of a specific system that I use to get testimonials. How many times have you seen a really crappy testimonial? The service was really good. The service was great. Barb H, Chicago. It's like, okay, whatever.
Those are called platitude testimonials, aren't they? When they just say the boring stuff. Actually,
Yeah.
I've told Courtney that this his $10,000 testimonial system should be sold as a separate product and even as a done for you product because it is such a high caliber system that of all these bonuses, when you actually dive in, you'll see if you use it, it's money in the bank. That's
really
how
is.
powerful that is. And let me just go back to the 90-day blueprint system. This is actually, I did this as a step-by-step 3-hour workshop where we actually went through and I actually give you some really cool systems using a matrix system that if you actually did the matrix that I provide in this 90-day blueprint, you could create anything you want rapidly because I give you a matrix where you can have it be a 3x3x3 or a 10x10x10. Imagine if you did something a 10x10x10, that would be equivalent to 10,000 pieces of content. If you're getting the power of a matrix system, so that really is a big value. So go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, it really is. And the reason I just want to give you a little bit of insight on why I call it the $10,000 testimonial system. It's because I was in a high-level mastermind. The system wasn't taught there, but it was used, and I noticed what was going on, and so I kind of reverse engineered it and put my own spin on some things. I'm using some new technology, and the mastermind that I was in, people were paying $10,000 to participate. And so that's why I call it the $10,000 testimonial system. And it is really, really amazing. So bonus number 5, this is really great. And I'm going to let Tami talk about this because this is kind of her baby, but let me give it an intro. You're going to get a Facebook course, but you are going to get a university-level Facebook course. And what that means is out of all the stuff floating around online that you can find out about Facebook, this course is a course that is currently being taught at university level for college credit. Now, you're not going to get the college credit, but you are going to get the exact course. And how did we manage to get a hold of this university level Facebook course?
Because I created it, and I'm
Yes.
the person who teaches it at Florida Gulf Coast University. Actually, a lot of the courses that I do share at very, very inexpensive prices have been taught at university level, and people do get their college credit for them when they take them through the college. But the course is really exactly the same course that I would deliver at the university. And in this particular case, it's all about how to use Facebook for marketing. And the beauty of these courses is as time goes by, I actually add to them. So the courses are kept up to date with what is going on with Facebook changes, because obviously at a university, I want to be sure that my students are getting the latest, greatest information so that they can apply it. And my students at the university have ranged anywhere from being CEO level people all the way down to people like a receptionist or someone who's trying to get their job skills up. Because think about the power of that. If you know how to use social media and you walk in the door, like even at an entry level job, and you say, oh, well, by the way, I know how to use Facebook for marketing, all of a sudden, guess who has a job? You do, because you're just at such a higher level. And I've actually mentored several students, and these were students who I met them when they were like freshmen or sophomores, and now they've graduated and they have some phenomenal. They because of the fact that they listened to me, because I told them, well, yes, being a magazine editor is great, but you really want to learn the social media stuff. And sure enough, right out of college, they walked into like $50,000, $60,000 a year jobs with, college, right out of college with their very first job. And think about that. That would sure beat McDonald's as your first job. If you can walk into making $50,000 or $60,000 right away with your bachelor's degree. So these courses are very powerful, and don't be
These are
fooled.
just the bonuses. These are just their bonuses.
Oh, I know, but don't be fooled about they're not hard courses, but you have to, like anything, you have to do the work in order to learn the stuff, and it's all the homework is all about you and your business, or about what you're doing. So it's all about real using yourself or somebody you know's business to actually create things, so that it's all real. It's none of it is, oh, let's just do a fake, use a fake company or something like that. It's all about, let's do this for real, and grow this, and people really like that.
Yeah, we're not done yet. This is probably a priceless bonus, and this is a private Facebook group for Mastermind and Help. And like we mentioned earlier, with people helping each other with their elevator pitches. We had one of our members who was about to go do a live event, and they posted this stuff in there. And so I said, great, this is awesome. And I went and I created a 5-minute critique of the piece that she was using and gave her some ideas to use to make that event successful. And that's the kind of help that you guys are getting. Tami and I, we are in there at least a couple times today. And besides running our regular businesses, we are taking time, we are making sure that you are getting the support and the mentorship that you need to succeed. And this is from one of our students. You won't find any two that give more value than Courtney and Tami, guaranteed. You get more than 10 times the cost. That comes from Wes. And the link to apply for this is localmarketingstreetcred.com/10 and 60. But this is probably my favorite quote that's come out of the teaching so far. I should have listened to Courtney.
Oh, that's cute. I was laughing earlier, just to let you know, Wesley Mish somehow GoToWebinar changed Wesley Hazlitt's name to Wesley Mish. And Wesley happens to be on the training tonight, and he wrote me a little haha because he's here, and we have never figured out how his name got changed from Hazlitt or Hazlitt to Mish. So it's funny,
well,
but
it's his pen name.
Just to let you know, everyone, that I should have listened to Courtney with Elaine Davis. It is very funny because Elaine, she goes by Lenny. She actually is somebody who's really, really just taking action. It's like she created a live event within a couple weeks. She did a live event, and Courtney told her exactly what to do, and she left out a couple details, and then she was like, I should have listened to Courtney. So remember, we have done this stuff, and we've already taken the punches in the gut for you and lost the money, so you don't have to. So this is really, really good advice. It's listen to us, because we can tell you from personal experience what happens if you try to reinvent the wheel. Because, often we tried to reinvent the wheel, and what happens is you get slapped down, and then you go, aha, this is the reason why you do it this way. And then, like Elaine said, I should have listened to Courtney. That's really great. So that is really interesting.
Yep. So all those bonuses, those add up, just the bonuses, they add up to over $2,000 in just the bonuses. And the investment for the 8 weeks with us and our systemized training is only a one-time investment of $997. And this is what we're doing. We're doing it by application. So there is a $50 application fee when you go to localmarketingstreetcred.com 10 in 60. There is it's a web page that will take you to an application page, and you will put down a $50 application fee. After that, what happens is you will be redirected to the application, and there's about 10 questions that I'm going to ask you there. And once I take that and look that over, either myself or one of my assistants or somebody will reach out to you and schedule a call with you. And we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about your goals. We're going to give you some guidance, and we're going to see if this really is going to be a good fit with you, and a good fit for you, and a good fit for us. Because we want action takers. We want people that are going to listen to our advice, implement our advice, and become superstars. And so that's what we're doing. Now, if at the end of the call, we don't think it's a good fit, we'll give you your $50 back. I don't think it really gets any easier than that. And on the call, if you do need a two-pay, we can work something out like that. But it's not going to be a complete discount. So basically, what it comes down to this. What is the rest of the year going to be like? Is it going to be like fireworks and champagne? Or is it going to be one of these sad little party poppers you pull the string and kind of go boop? So reserve your spot, apply today, and like I said, it is a refundable deposit, and you can reply at localmarketingstreetcred.com/10in60/. All right. Does anybody have any questions? What questions do you guys have?
So, Courtney, here's a question. You guys talked a little bit about a membership site. Can you talk a little bit more about the membership site?
Yeah. What we have done, we have created a membership site, so all the lessons are in that site. So you have access to the lessons as they come out. Not only that, you can also ask questions in the Facebook group, and you can also post questions in the membership site. And what will happen is when we get a question, if we think that it is a question that the rest of the group can really learn from and grow from, we're going to hop on our computers, we're going to make a video, and we're going to upload that to the membership site as part of the Q&A. Not only that, we also have accountability calls every week to really keep you on track.
So accountability calls every week, membership site, Facebook site. Can you go over those bonuses one more time? I have a couple people asking to see the bonuses again.
That one? Okay, just kidding.
So bonus number one is a 50% discount. So instead of paying the $997, you say $500, it's $497. Bonus number two, you get the live 30-minute Skype clarity call valued at $250. Bonus three is the 90-day blueprint, how to build your business in 90 days, valued at $297. Bonus number four is the $10,000 testimonial system worth $500, and I would put in parentheses priceless.
Yeah.
Bonus five is the university level Facebook course, $500, and the bonus, of course, 6 is a private Facebook group for masterminding and help, which again, I really think that it's hard to put a price on those groups because of the value of the mastermind. So you basically have the 6 bonuses plus 8 weeks of solid hand-holding and support from people who've been in the trenches. And another beautiful thing is someone was asking, does it matter what my business is? Because many of the people who actually know us because of internet marketing, but I have taught many just ordinary people, business people, professionals, authors, heart-centered people. You do not have to be an internet marketer to benefit from what we're teaching, because it's really solid business foundations if you're an entrepreneur. I think that's really, really important to understand that everything we teach can be applied to your business to help you become the expert, to become the authority, to help you create your blue ocean. That is a really important factor. So if you're sitting there going, well, is this for me? Don't disqualify yourself without talking to Courtney. And, so you have a refundable application fee. And why did we do that? We actually did that so that we would know that you're really serious about helping yourself to grow. And that way, when you fill out that form as accurately as possible, and Courtney takes the time to really help you get clear and gain that clarity, we know that you're in it for real. And then, of course, if we determine it's a good fit, great, we can move forward. If it's not a good fit, we can direct you in a direction that is the right direction for you. Because, obviously, we don't want you to be working with us if we're not the right people for you. But that clarity call with Courtney is actually going to really help you to get clear and to know whether or not we can help you to move forward.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Tami, a lot of people know us from our online marketing background. But we have students that, one of our students, she is a speaker and an author, and she wants help expanding her speaking and her authorship business. Guess what? This stuff is applicable to her, and she discovered that in her clarity call. It's like, oh yeah, I can do this. This is how I can branch out. And it really is, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to better yourself, have a better life for your family, and just in general help people get your message out there, this training, I truly believe, is way undervalued, but not only that, will work. It does work. I know it works. We have our students that are getting great results from it. I've been doing this for years. Tami's been doing this for years, and not to mention, we know what doesn't work. So you can learn from our mistakes there too. Tami and I, we were talking, I think it was yesterday, and in the internet marketing world, right now there is a really popular strategy that it seems like it's pretty easy to do, and it's one of these things where you kind of do it, you work a couple hours a day, and then you just kind of sit back and watch the money roll in. Well, the problem with that strategy is when I first got into online marketing, I was taught that strategy. Tami was taught that strategy. I wasted a whole summer with that strategy.
Me too.
Tami wasted a whole summer with that strategy. And it just keeps on going around and around and around. Does it work? Yeah, it works. But is it really the fastest and the best way to build a sustainable business? If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, do this, plug in this software, this is not for you. This is not for you. If you want to build a real business, a sustainable business, if you are working a job and you want to quit your job, this will be your fast path to cash. And this will help you.
And one of the things, I'll say something about the JOB because I actually was able to go from working a full-time JOB, driving about 3 hours up and down the freeway every day. Took me 6 months from May until November. But in the 6 months between May and November, it was like May, I think it was my birthday, May 3rd, and I think it was May 6th or November 6th or 7th. Was when I stopped. And I can honestly tell you that when I was able to go full time, with my business, my income tripled in 30 days. So that year, I started in November, and so by Christmas time, it was like woohoo, and I was on my way, and I haven't looked back. And I'm not saying that it's been easy, or that there haven't been bumps in the road or detours, or because the road to success obviously is not a straight path. Believe me, it's all about finding that big why. Like, why do you want this so bad? Why is this so important to you to be an entrepreneur, to have your own business, to speak your mind, to share your message, to have an impact, to have this influence? And of course, all of us, not only do we want better income, we need to have sustainable long term income for our legacy. And I really think it's important. So, Courtney, can you go back to the page that shows where they can, the link, so that they make sure that they have that link, that they can go to?
I sure will, but this is what I want to say. Now, the price that you're getting, it's not inexpensive. And really, when it comes down to basing your decision on price, primarily, that's a biggie. So, of course, getting the lowest price is a factor when you're budgeting for whatever it might be, a marketing campaign, or looking for expert advice. But what you really need to do, once again, is focus on the real reason you're hiring the experts for the knowledge, insight, and the overall outcome they desire. Now, here's the bottom line. Once again, decide what you want your desired outcome to be. And if you find a person or team like Tami and myself, if you think that Tami and myself can help you achieve that outcome, hire us. And here is the link once again. localmarketingstreetcred.com/10in60.
Great. I think we have answered all the questions, and it's good to see that we have quite a few people who are joining us. So congratulations. And Courtney, any last words? localmarketingstreetcred.com/10in60 forward.
Yep. The only last words that I have to say, and I think Elaine said it best, show listen to Courtney.
Yep. So everybody, thank you from Tami Patzer and
Courtney Kostelecki.
Remember, localmarketingstreetcred.com/10in60. We will see you in the Facebook group and in the membership site. Thanks a lot.
And once you apply your application, your call will be scheduled in about 48 hours. 48 to 72 hours.
Wow, that's really good. Again, everybody, thank you. localmarketingstreetcred.com/10in60. This is Tami Patzer and Courtney Kostelecki.
Courtney Kostelecki signing off. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
See you in the Facebook group. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.